All my life, I have been drawing myself in various styles and definitely different moods. Some self portraits are more flattering, some more raw for the purpose of pure emotional release. We didn't have Pinterest or similar websites back then, so the mirror was the quickest way to get a reference image. I also had a more stylized version of myself, so I didn't even need the mirror most times. Today I'm going to paint two self-portraits in watercolour, and I'm going to explore what self-portraiture can do for your emotional health, how you can use it to connect with your deeper and true self, and even more, how it can change the direction of your life. By the way, I'm Fiona De Pinto and this is Drawings in a Drawer. Welcome if you're new on this channel. We discuss everything watercolour and quite a bit about emotional health lately as well. So if that is something you might be interested in, be sure to click on that notification bell so you won't miss any of my weekly videos. And now let's get talking about today's topic. I often tell my students to start off with whatever is left in their mixing tray from a previous painting. I'm not bothered with starting with so-called mud. In fact, I think it's an excellent way to break in a painting. And also metaphorically, I like the concept of starting with mud, and I think you should try that if you are going to paint your self-portrait. But it's not necessary to paint it, it's enough to draw. The act of drawing or painting ourselves can be one of the biggest acts of self-love that there is. If you think of it, we paint portraits to pay tribute to iconic and historical characters. We paint portraits to commemorate someone. Painting someone who has passed, for example, is also a wonderful way to connect with them. And if you have ever tried that, you will probably already know how intense that experience can be on an emotional level as you uncover memories and revisit your relationship. When I told my mother about this idea, she was like, "No way am I going to paint my self-portrait. I look too old." I just wanted to say that if drawing yourself in the mirror or your image at the moment is not something you feel ready for, then you can pick up any photo of yourself from the past and you will still have the same experience because it's a fact that it's you that counts. You still identify with that photo, it's still you. But my mother's reaction made me think about how women in a certain age group seem to become invisible, and some believe that they should be, that they don't deserve a self-portrait because they have wrinkles or age spots. I was listening to a podcast the other day where British journalist Eleanor Mills calls them queenagers. Basically women in midlife and beyond. She uses this term to challenge gender ageism and change the narrative around this stage of women's life by seeing it as a time of opportunity and where there is still much that you can do and get excited about. I thought that concept tied in beautifully with this idea of painting a self-portrait to celebrate this time in our lives when we're 40, 50, 60 and beyond, and really till we can hold a pencil or a paintbrush, even if it's 100 years old, and like, good for you. I think we should all challenge this disruptive idea that women in this vast age group are not interesting anymore, there's no more potential, they don't have a voice. I've created a hashtag and it's hashtag QueenagersArt. I'll have it on screen right now if I can manage to do that, where I'd like to gather all your self-portraits in support of this change we want to make. I would love it if you could tag me, so I will share all the portraits in my stories, and if it's a self-portrait that you've already done, that's okay as well. And I will leave the hashtag in the description box along with all the information to join my lively art community where we do live weekly sketching and painting and have a new challenge every month. We work on to hone our skills and quite honestly to also let steam off together at times. While painting or drawing a self-portrait, you will find you will go through cycles of emotion. You might feel happy, you might feel deep sorrow at moments, you might feel pain for all the suffering you've experienced. You may want to write words or names that are meaningful to you or symbols, placing them like tattoos over the portrait or hidden away somewhere that only you can see or that only you would notice or understand what they mean. It really is an opportunity to make peace with yourself, to celebrate the child you once were, the teenager, the woman. It's a way to forgive yourself for what you did to yourself very often. And in a way, I almost see painting the self-portrait as a full stop. Something that can help you turn a new page and get started on the next chapter of your life with a sense of excitement, with a project, with the knowledge that now might be the time when you can be your most productive, your most creative, and your most yourself. Things are not going to happen to you. You've got to go looking for them. The act of the self-portrait is meaningful because you will be forced to detach from the idea you have of yourself. Unless you're doing a 30-second sketch, you will start noticing the feelings you have towards yourself. And very often that's when we also realize how unforgiving we can be, how rarely we pat our own back and say to ourselves, "You've done well. You've given it your best shot." But for me, it's even more important to say something like, "This is you up till now. This is a celebration of you. And now we can move on and do something great." Whatever that is, to moving to another country, deciding you want to dedicate your life to the arts, whatever goal you have, then it's time. Because there's so much emotional wealth in having a plan, in getting started, in believing and setting high standards for yourself. Why should you not have high standards for yourself? The comments you leave me weekly are those of people filled with passion, curiosity, empathy. Why should this kind of person not deserve to get a rich, fulfilling life, no matter what age you are? The answer is that you do, of course, deserve all of these things, and the self-portrait is a powerful tool to connect with your inner self, to forgive and let go, to pay tribute to who you are, and then to get going and start heading in the direction you want your life to go in. This might seem impossible at times, and I know that. That is why I'm suggesting the self-portrait as a gentle way to ease you into that frame of mind, which will help you to at least plant that seed. See yourself from a different angle. Notice the nonsense the voice in your head sometimes says about you, and turn your attention to what makes you feel better and what makes you grow. Because I was filming myself, I might not have immersed myself fully into this experience, but I did listen to music while I was painting. I tried to stay in the zone. The fact that I had the camera on can be a little distracting at times, even after all this time. I feel the first self-portrait was overworked in a way. I started off with a lot of layers and I just kept going and going. I think I kind of liked it more halfway through. And that also made me understand that I have high expectations and I can be very hard on myself. I was clearly trying to make it perfect, so to speak, if such a thing even is possible. I am glad I painted the second portrait, which I like better because it was painted with fewer layers, and that is something that I aim to go towards in my watercolour journey. It was more freeing and an experience for me, and in a way it was more me. I think there's a duality in a lot of us, and sometimes we don't know whether we should trust that gut instinct and give in to that pull. Very often we don't listen to that voice. Well, to me, the second portrait, the one on the left, is that second voice, I think. And it's a simpler and pure and more raw me, and also, yes, a queenager, of course. Thank you so much if you've made it this far. I really appreciate the support I get from you people, from the comments to the likes, and all of you who let me know how much you resonate with what I say in my videos. It really means the world to me, and I just wanted to let you know that. I also want to thank my amazing patrons because they are some of the most amazing women I've ever met, and I miss them when I don't see them in the lives. I hope this video was helpful, and I hope you will take on the challenge to paint your own self-portrait as a love letter to yourself and the turning point in your life. I really hope that for you, and I will be here on YouTube again next Sunday, so stay tuned. I hope you have a lovely week. Take care. Bye for now.